There's, I think, a lot of memes in Silicon Valley around how early engineers really suffer relative to founders from an equity perspective, and I think that's totally false.
Can you talk about that?
Sure. I think being a founder is a lot harder than people think. I think raising money is, despite the environment, you see all sorts of things not get funded today. And so I think if you've raised money, you've set direction, you've convinced people to join, you've actually already helped create something valuable. And you've created momentum in a certain direction. And often early investors will invest behind the person, not just behind the idea. And so people are betting on you. And I think that almost every founder I know eventually starts complaining about the fact that they're working harder than their employees. And I do think founders on average work harder. I think they suffer more stress because it's a really stressful job and you feel the weight of your employees' future lives on you. And you also shield employees from a lot of stuff that they don't see. And a lot of the crap they have to deal with, either from an HR perspective or from an investor perspective or whatever it is. Like some people tend to act badly and you have to deal with it as the CEO in ways that a lot of people in the company just never get exposed to. So I think it's more stress, you're taking on more risk, and you've set direction and people are effectively betting on you. Versus somebody who joins and could leave at any time, and honestly, nothing is tying them to the company. They haven't raised money, so there isn't the investor pressure to say, hey, you have to stick around. They're just not on the line in the same way.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually didn't know that you thought that. I tweeted a similar thing out like a month or two ago. And the responses that came back was so fascinating because it's almost universally anybody who started a company agreed with it. Yeah. And anybody who had not started a company, even if they were like full-time, professional, really good angel investors, basically disagreed with it. It was like so fascinating that it was like such a clear line between anybody who'd done the company said yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. And it's actually funny because I was talking to the founder of a company. He'd left a company that Facebook bought, and he was an early engineer at the company, and he kept complaining to the CEO saying, look, like, why are you getting so much more equity than me? I'm taking on as much risk, all this other stuff. And the CEO told him, you should go start your own company and see what it's like, and you'll realize that it's really fair. And so then he went and he started a company, and the CEO angel invested in it. And so I met up with this founder, and he's like, oh my God, he was so right. It's so different.
It's really funny how like actually doing the company changes your perspective on this
Yeah,
so fundamentally.
How hard it is.
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
Yeah.